Ball boys, huh?
Coming to you from David Noonan Field, Hillsborough High School here in Hillsborough, New Jersey. Hello, everybody. Game number 4 of this high school football season and the second home game of the year. It's the Hillsborough Raiders and the Sayreville War Memorial Bombers in what is going to be a really good matchup. The Hillsborough team about to take the field just a moment. Sayreville took the field a couple minutes ago. We're waiting for Hillsborough to be, who are all in black today. Black helmets, not numerals, but shirts and pants, but they have gold numerals. So basically, you can call it a blackout. Here they come. Hillsborough makes their way to the field. And here I'm Tom Wilkins with Joey Pagan, Howard Gaber taking care of the controls. And with both teams 1 and 2 on the season, this is an important game for both of them.
It sure is. At 1 and 2, you definitely don't want to come out of here with that third loss. You drop so far in the standings, I don't believe there'd be an opportunity for playoffs as far as standings go. So it's a big game tonight for both Sayreville and Hillsborough tonight.
I can guarantee you that it'll be a major step towards November for either team if they can get this game. Needless to say, Sayreville came off their first win last week. Hillsborough, a disappointing loss against Ridge, who came in winless last week, but definitely going to be a tough one on both sides of the agenda. What we're going to do is we are going to talk more about the game in just a moment, but what we're going to do is we're going to have our national anthem, which tonight will be performed by the Pride of Hillsborough Raider Marching Band under the band direction of Jules Herron and Nick Clipperton. We're waiting for the signal now, and let's go ahead and listen to these kids. They always do a heck of a job, and of course they got halftime coming up too tonight as well. Let's now go to the Pride of Hillsborough Raider Marching Band with our national anthem.
Looks like they're coming on the field by the gate. The guys in short.
Quarterback is tiny.
Huh? Yeah.
There you have it, the Pride of Hillsborough Raider Marching Band with our national anthem, once again under the direction of Jules Herron and Nick Clipperton. Wonderful job by those kids. And once again, we'll be seeing Hillsborough's marching band with their halftime show at halftime of tonight's event. But getting back to the game, Joey, these are two former sectional champions, Sayreville 6-time champions, the last being in 2018, which happened to be the only other meeting. But what we're going to do, we're going to head to referee Dave Race,
Guys,
who will
shake
do the
hands,
coin
please
toss.
introduce yourselves. Hey guys, I'm Mr. Racer referee. Good luck to the sportsmanship to both teams tonight. All right. Heads, tails. What's your call? Tails is the call. I'm gonna let it hit the ground. Okay. Tails is the call. Tails it is. Kick receive the defender. One first. White has the further option. Second half. You want the ball? Which way do you want to kick or which goal you want to kick? You gonna kick this way? Oh, I'm sorry. Put your backs here. Swing your backs to that goal right here. Hillsborough will be receiving, defending that goal. Guys, shake hands. Good first half.
All right, so there you have it. Sayreville won the toss. They will make their choice in the second half, so Hillsborough will get the ball first. Hillsborough will move right to left, Sayreville left to right, and we'll switch sides in the second quarter. Keys to the game, Joey, what do you got?
Keys to the game is defense tonight. You know, the Hillsborough has to come big again like they need to and be able to and play a tough defense tonight.
Taking away from
Well, these two teams met Last time, the only other time they actually met was in the first round of the 2018 playoffs. And Hillsborough had a game of it with Sayreville. They were tied at 7 at quarter time, but then Sayreville scored the last 35 points and won going away 42-7. Also, the last year that Sayreville won a sectional title. They also won, if I can find it correctly, they've had a lot of really tremendous success. 97, 2010, 2011, 2012, 2016, and 2018. Wow. These guys, 6-time champions. Hillsborough, of course, won theirs in 2021 with their unbeaten season, but it is 2024. Yes, we were there, the game against North Brunswick. That was a memory we'll never forget.
No, yeah, that's right. But, well, hopefully tonight, the Hillsborough could come out with a W tonight for that, and they're about ready to receive the kick.
Well, you are correct, and obviously their quarterback, Ryan Seaman, had a disappointing showing back last Friday against Ridge, but hopefully he'll get a chance to improve his performance here as he gets the ball first. And it's a pretty breezy night here at David Noonan Field as the referee blows his whistle, and we are underway here in Hillsborough as the kickoff is taken out of bounds. So obviously they don't want to kick toward Jankowicz. Nobody does.
Nobody does, yeah. The young man's exciting. I was hoping he would receive the kick tonight to start it off for Hillsborough to give them a spark early. But he is on offense, so, maybe we'll get lucky, and that's what will happen right now.
All right, so they'll spot the ball at the 35-yard line. That's where Hillsborough will begin 1st and 10. 75 degrees at game time. Beautiful night. We thought we were going to get some rain tonight, considering how the forecast was, but it seems like every time rain comes, it just dries out. But what a beautiful night for football.
Excellent night for football. The weather shouldn't have too much of a factor in it, but you still need to hydrate and stretch and stay healthy.
And watch the wind, because if it gets a little breezy, that could affect the passing game.
Yes, sir.
All right, here goes Hillsborough in a sprint. They're going to go empty gun here on 1st and 10. Heavy on the right-hand side. Now they send Jankowicz in motion. He's going to line up behind Seaman. Play fake and a screen. And is caught and turning the corner, crossing the 40 to midfield. Look at this, to the 40 and down to the 35-yard line. How about Jimmy Azukfor with a tremendous opening play that netted almost 30 yards. Devin Crash with a stop, and what a start for Hillsborough.
What a start, an amazing start. Great swing pass out there, great run. He broke a few tackles and was able to get up the sideline and get some great yardage for Hillsborough. So excellent start for them right now.
He stepped out of the 39s. That was a gain of 26 on the very first play. Now they're going to go 4 receivers tripling the left side here. And let's see what Seaman does on 1st and 10. And they're going to give to Jankowicz. He tries to cut the course, slips out of a tackle, and gets to about the 35. Not a bad 4 yards.
No.
Hard cut and some tough running there.
It was a good run by Jankowicz. He broke that first initial tackle that would have been for a loss, and it was able to still gain about 4 to 5 yards on that carry, which is great.
The junior Brian Zangrillo made a stop, but it's 2nd and 6 now for Hillsborough at the Sayreville 35. Sayreville in their road white uniforms, blue pants and numerals and helmets. Hillsborough in all black. They're doing a blackout tonight. They do have gold numerals as well. Here's Seaman back on 2nd down. That was a Joel Embiid block on that play. Incomplete.
Great job by the defensive end.
I think he saw the eyes of Seaman and decided, okay, I'll go ahead and spike that down.
He did sell on that. He was able to see and read the quarterback. And just like you teach your defensive ends, if they can't get that far into the backfield, once you realize that you're at a standstill, you get your hands up and look for the quarterback to pass the ball and jump, get in the passing lane, which is what he did, which was really excellent.
3rd and 6 from the 35-yard line. Looks like you're going 3 wide slot left here. Play fake, and looked like there was a misdirection. Seaman turns around, gets a first down at the 27-yard line. How about finding the hole, and Seaman just darted forward. And how about Hillsborough with that 3rd down call? I don't know if that was exactly what Cardi had designed, but it worked.
I don't think it was a design play. It looked like it was a miscommunication there, but credit to the quarterback to be able to continue with the ball upfield and get a first down for them.
That ball spotted at the 27 following that 8-yard quarterback keeper. Hey, it may not have been pretty, but it worked. And now Kevin Cardi calling his troops on the next play here. 1st and 10 at the Sayreville 27, opening drive of this game. A beautiful night of football here for David Noonan Field. There's a handoff, and it looks like I think it's Jankowicz, and he slides down for I'm sorry, it's Schwartz, who came in the game for that one. Gets a yard on the play. Good tackle by Chase Barnes.
Still, it was positive yards. 1 yard is 1 yard. You know, you want to continue to get positive yards here. You don't want to lose anything, in case you decide to go for a field goal. But, they're working the ball well. The pass run is doing well for them right now.
We just saw Zion Grant run off the field. Keep your eye on him, especially in short yardage situations. We saw that, of course, 2 weeks ago when Hillsborough had their game against Union. 2nd and 9 for the 26. Tripling to left once again. Here's Seaman. Back, has time. Now he reverses. He might take it himself. He will. 25. Let's see if he turns the corner. He'll get out of bounds. It's about the 22. We'll see where they spot it, but it's still going to be a 4-yard pickup.
Well, once again, still positive yards, right? There was nobody open for him, so he managed to break away and stay in bounds and turn upfield and make something out of nothing, because technically there was nowhere for him to go with the ball but upfield and run with it. So that was good on his part to be able to get upfield.
He got 3. Chase Barnes was able to chase him down, literally, and it makes it 3rd and 6. So once again, Hillsborough with another 3rd and medium. 2nd time in a row here. And this time they triple the right side. 4 receivers set. Jankowicz to the left with Simu, takes the snap. Looking. He'll dart one. And the pass, is it caught? Yeah, it is. I don't know if it's going to be enough for a first down. Looks like the 19. Schwartz with a catch, but it's only for 4. That's going to leave him 2 yards short.
All right, but I think here, it's a 4-down territory. You want to be able to get, do something. You want to get a first down. If not, you want to get into the end zone here. But it is 4th and short, so.
I was about to say, remember I said Zion Grant a couple plays ago? Here he comes on the field. I would power run this one.
I would say so, too.
I mean, Grant has been effective. I mean, he had an opening touchdown against Somerville in the opening week, so let's see if he can pull through it. Hillsborough goes for it. Heavy package on 4th and 2 from the 19-yard line. Yep, there's Jankowicz, and they'll get a first down inside of 15. Pushes his way to about the 10, maybe the 9. Hillsborough already in the red zone, and they may have goal to go here.
Yeah, I believe so. It's close to it, but Sayreville got big there in the middle. They went into a big package as far as defensive tackle goes. They brought in an extra big defensive tackle, and he was still unable to be able to make a play. So credit Hillsborough offensive line right now for getting a good push there.
A 9-yard pickup and 1st and goal from the 10. Let's see what Seaman does under center. They'll give it to Jankowicz. Does he have a hole? He does. He'll push his way to maybe about the 5, possibly to 4. So it looks like the offensive line is carrying Jankowicz as to where he's going.
I just finished saying that they're doing an amazing job up front. Hat on hat pushing, getting good drives, and Jankowicz is making a good read with the ball right now, making the right cuts.
I think we're going to have a tight formation somewhere here. 2nd and goal. And here's the handoff. Jankowicz pushing. They haven't blown the whistle. Now he's down about the 3. Jankowicz for a yard there, maybe 2.
It looked like he got 1 or 2 yards out of it. Once again, it was a bunch formation. It was really tight. You almost expected the run to come, but at some point you're going to wind up getting that play action, if anything, which would be a good call right here.
Okay, opening drive of the game, 3rd and goal, and they're going to say about the 3-yard line. Again, tight formation here. Let's see if Zion gets one. He does. Up the middle, dives, and he is no signal, about a yard short.
Yeah.
It looked like he was doing pretty good, and then all of a sudden, everything stopped.
Yeah, it looked like they managed to get a good stop there. I think he jumped a little too early. He should have tried pushing the pile a little more before leaving his feet, because once you leave your feet, you got no more push. So he should have just continued to push. But he did jump.
You go 3 ways here. Sneak, Zion, or Jackson. Which will it be? It'll be Jackson. And he's in! Welcome to the end zone! Does his own version of a dive bombing there as Jackson clears the area with a 1-yard touchdown strike. Hillsborough scores first on their opening drive.
Great drive, great blocking by the offensive line. The offensive line took control there and were able to block and take full control and be able to move the ball upfield, because I think they threw 1 swing pass and 1 short pass, but everything basically was just good running.
And took 5.5 minutes off the clock to open the game. All right, they're going to go for 2 here, interestingly. Let's see what happens here. Oh, they're swinging gate, I think. Evidently, they lost the key, so they went back in formation. Now they will try the extra point, which will be taken by Andrew Advani. The snap kick on its way, and it just clears the crossbar, and it goes good. It wasn't pretty, but he got the job done.
Whatever it takes to get the job done, you're going to do it. That you need a little bit of luck in this game, and they just got it.
All right, so 6:31 left in the first, 7-0 Hillsborough. Hillsborough with 7, Sayreville with their opening drive in a moment. Let's take a look at the replay, Joey, and show you how Jackson was able to jump over the pile for that score.
Once again, the offensive line is doing a great job. They get a great push, 55 on a great block right there, being followed number 22. Excellent drive, and he just jumps over the pile into the end zone, touchdown.
He said, Jackson's like, I don't need that ball. Remember in the old days, a generation ago, Emmitt Smith, every time he scored, you would put his ball on the case for every touchdown he had. Man, that had to have been something. But definitely good for Hillsborough. Tremendous way to respond after a disappointing week last week, but hey, it's past tense, and now we're on to the next one.
And that's exactly what it is. You leave yesterday behind, you leave it there, and you start working on today, and this is what they're doing. The offense came out fired up. Once again, credit to the offensive line, that first drive, which was amazing there.
All right, so Hillsborough to kick off. And it's a directional kick, dropped down at about the 34-yard line by Andrew Provenza, the sophomore. So they went directional, and that will be a start for Sayreville, their opening drive at their own 34. Now, Joey, I didn't quite get to it in the pregame, but one of the keys for Hillsborough to win is to shut down Sean Jackson.
Right. The defense needs to come up really big and be able to get on him right away and not allow him to get started. Because if you let this kid get started on you, he is going to rack up the yardage and the end zone really quickly on you. So they really need to come up big. The linebackers need to play big today.
As much as they promote passing, there's still a lot of running in this game. All right, here we go on 1st and 10. It'll be Nick Nunez who hands it off to the aforementioned Jackson, and he only gets about a yard. Now, remember last week, Sean Jackson ran for 178 yards and 2 touchdowns in their 40-21 win over Edison. Their biggest win over Edison since 2017. Obviously, Sayreville quite happy about it.
Right. Well, I mean, like I said, he is a workhorse. They need to jump on him early. They need to get him a full head of steam. The linebacker, Mateo, there came up pretty good, got a shoestring tackle on that. Him and the other linebackers really going to have their hands full tonight with that guy.
Okay, on 2nd down, back to passes. Nunez has time. Now he's his. He throws the ball. There's an open receiver, but evidently the defense allowed Nunez to throw just a hair early because if it was just like maybe a half second later, that's a 65-yard score.
Yes, sir. I tell you, Hillsborough had no pressure on that. He was able to roll to his left, his right a little bit and be able to plant his feet and get the ball downfield. I know he wasn't throwing to the receiver that was coming on the backside. It was the one underneath. But still, that other backside receiver was wide open.
Breakdown coverage, possibly?
I believe so.
Well, missed opportunity there for Sayreville. 3rd and 9 now from their own 35-yard line. 4 receivers tripling to left this time for Nunez, who takes the snap, has some time, looking like he can order lunch from there, and now throws one way too high, incomplete.
Okay. So
looked like something was going on after the play, but evidently everything cleared up quick, and Sayreville goes 3 and out and punts.
Right. What Hillsborough was doing there, it looked to me like they were playing the cover 2, and the safety saw something up and came up a little bit. I felt he should have stayed back because that's what's opening that middle of the field for the receivers doing that crossing route. So they were in the cover 2. They didn't blitz. They didn't get any pressure from the front 4. They either need to blitz to get more pressure or the front 4 needs to step it up.
Okay, punting time for Sayreville here. They take the snap.
Ball's away!
And a high kick going all the way back to 26-yard line, returnable to about the 30-yard line, trying to turn the corner down to the 37-yard line. You're right. And Berto Santiago, a nice return of 11 yards there, and Hillsborough will be at the 37 for a 1st and 10 for their next drive. Now, mind you, here on HSG Network, and Joey.
No, Barrios right now. He the last time 2 weeks ago he was doing well as a receiver, so he's an electrifying player now. He needs to get involved in this game too. Although the running game is working, but I think you need to open up the pass just a little to continue to have that run game, for you there.
All right, so the ball is spotted at the 39, so it's actually a 13-yard return. So Hillsborough have their second possession. Hopefully it'll be as good as the first one. 1st and 10 from the 39-yard line. Again, Seaman to shock a high snap and again to Jankowicz, who tries to cut the corner across the 40. Almost slips through and gets down to about the 46. And once again, there's Bryce Bouchard making that stop, and he's going to be a busy one tonight.
Once again, great run by Jankowicz. I mean, he stretched it when he realized, okay, the hole is here. He planted and then turned upfield, shot the hole. Got, 6-8 yards out of that? Excellent first down. So, great play.
Yeah, they're moving the ball. That's an 8-yard pickup. All right, they triple the right side, empty on the left. 2nd and 2, play fake to Jankowicz. Seaman going back. He's thinking about running. Now he better hurry up because he's being too hesitant, and he's going to have to throw out of bounds and incomplete. Now, there's no more pocket after that part, so a smart move to get out there. The nearest receiver was a Zupar, but thankfully Seaman just got out of the way of that one.
He got lucky because Jankowicz on his block was a little bit lazy there. He chipped the end, and that was it. He didn't do anything else, which allowed him to continue upfield and chase down the quarterback from behind.
And not only that, Joey, that hesitation for like less than half a second completely turned into a little bit of a panic play there.
Yes, sir.
All right, 3rd and 2 from the 47-yard line. Seaman in the shotgun. Got a little bit of high snap. Jankowicz again. Oh, he's going to be thrown backward. He doesn't even quite get there. So no gain on the play. And once again, Daryl Jerez, the senior linebacker, was able to plug the stop and force Hillsborough to punt 3 and out.
Yeah, I think they went to the well too many times with the run. I think they should have play action because you can still do this on 4th down, right? They're expecting run. We've been running the ball well. Offensive line is blocking. A play action right there at that moment would have been much better.
Okay, Hillsborough to punt. Jackson back to return at about the 22-yard line. Good snap. Okay, they're coming. And the ball gets away from Jackson and rolling. And it comes to a stop at about the 21-yard line. That's not a bad punt if you think about it. Not only did they get away from Jackson, who's always dangerous, but at the very least, they were able to down it near the 20. So not a bad punt of 32 yards if you think about it.
No, you're right. That was a great punt. And it was good that it rolled in the favor of Hillsborough, and they were able to down it and not let this young man grab the ball and get started again. So, good job. Once again, the linebackers need to step up here and be able to make sure this man does not get started.
Now, coming into this game, Nick Nunez was 12 out of 26 for 237 yards and a couple of touchdowns. And he almost had one the opening drive. Here he's got a receiver on each side. Now they're going to hand it off. And, what a nice tackle about the 25, 26-yard line.
Job by number 72, I believe it was.
Yeah, Nick Duarte with the stop there after a 3-yard pickup. And it looked like they were going to go to Jackson, but instead they went a little misdirection there, but at least Hillsborough was able to close it up.
Right, exactly. The linebackers were filling the holes, and he cut back, and Duentes was able to come back and make a play, which was great from his D tackle spot. He maintained his position.
2nd and 7. Here's Nunez. Back to pass. He's being rushed this time and has to throw over Jackson's head, incomplete. So now Hillsborough's starting to get some pressure on Nunez, which is what they need to keep doing in order to be successful here.
This is correct. Once they get more pressure on him, it'll be even better. But this pressure right now was excellent. It's exactly what they needed. Now it's 3rd and long again. So, here's where you need to dial it up. Whether you disguise, whether you're going to sit in the 2 and continue rushing your 4, or you're going to try to come up with some pressure, possibly off the edge. But, watching the sticks, making sure you don't let anybody get past you or behind you.
All right, so here we go on 3rd and 7 from the 25. Nunez takes the snap. He's rolling right. He's suddenly being chased. He's going to have to lob one. And it's intercepted, I believe. It is indeed an interception.
Number 27.
Drew Advani, he can kick extra points, and he can also intercept passes.
Yes, sir. Great job. Great job by the defense.
So what a nice grab by Advani, who intercepts the ball and forces the first turnover of the game. And Hillsborough will get the ball at the 44 of Sayreville.
Great defense by Hillsborough there. The safety came over and undercut that. Here we have the replay here. So Number 27 is the safety. He's just dropping back, getting his read. He sees that receiver cutting underneath, and then he undercuts it. There it is. He comes. Boom. And you teach it.
And it was a little underthrown, too.
It was a little underthrown, you know. I mean, normally we played backwards where the corner's underneath and safety's on top, but they had reverse. So, it was a good move by him.
They send a Zukor motion here on first down. Seaman will throw a swing to Schwartz, who is not going to go anywhere. He may have actually lost a couple yards there.
Yeah, I believe he lost a few there. I think, Tom, what you said earlier, because up here in the booth, I'm starting to feel the wind pick up a bit. So who's to know what's going on down in the field? Maybe they feel the wind is a bit much, and they don't want to take the chance of trying to get the ball downfield with that wind.
Well, if you think about it, I mean, you also got to consider, too, the wind can do some wonders with the football here, as we mentioned.
I'm looking at the flags now. It's actually to their backs, to Hillsborough's backs. You would think that they would try to take that shot down. I'm looking at the flag, but
looks more like a crosswind to me, but hey, you never know. It's variable. So after a loss of 4, 2nd and 14 from the 48, Seaman the shotgun and a spread. He'll take the snap, has a little time. Going to take a shot down the field. He's got Jankowitz. A little bit too high and complete.
Oh, wow. Good try by Jankowitz. I think he mistimed his jump. If he would have waited just a little bit longer, he might have come down with that.
Shall we say that was a battle of star running backs? The intended receiver was Jankowitz. The person in coverage was Sean Jackson.
Yeah, that's right. Your best players are going to cover your best players here.
So that'll make it 3rd and 14 from the 48-yard line. And considering Hillsborough just got the turnover on defense, you know they want to get points off of that turnover.
First here, we need to get a first down.
All right, let's see what happens here. And then, somebody jumped. Well, we're about to have an HSG exclusive here. You're about to...
Defense. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
That is the voice of referee Dave Race, who just called an encroachment foul against Sayreville. The rest of the crew, the umpire is Eric Zobian, the head linesman is John Gallagher, line judge is Jim Capora, side judge is Carmen Locano, and the field judge is Dale Hawk.
It's a great job by the refs. And credit to Howard for having these refs mic'd up for us here tonight so we can get the exact call. We can hear it right away.
That makes it 3rd and 9. Ball now to 43-yard line. They triple the left side. Seaman looking over the 4 receiver set. Takes a snap. Looking, a bit of a rush. Let's see. He runs into his own guy. Now he's going to take off. He may have to throw and run for his life. He gets tripped up and thrown down to 45. So he ends up losing 2. I think there was nobody downfield for him to throw. No, he was just hesitant.
Sayreville had great coverage downfield. So, he had no other choice but to run. He should have taken off a little sooner. He started going upfield, but then he decided to back up to see if something opened up for him, and it didn't. You should always go with your first instinct. I'm quite sure it told him run, and he didn't. He came back, and he wound up, gaining a yard maybe, and that was it.
Well, unfortunately for Hillsborough, they can't get points off of this turnover, so Nate Drab will punt for the 2nd time. He's standing at the 42-yard line while he kick it away from Sean Jackson, who's standing at the 16. See if they get a good snap out of this. They're looking spread here, so don't be surprised if there's a possible fake, but it won't happen here. Low line drive, and it bounces and bounces and will be covered.
Great job.
No, touchback. It is a touchback because the landing had somebody with a foot in the end zone, so it's going to come back to the 20-yard line.
Wow.
They ruled it a touchback right away.
Okay, let's see, because the ball's being spotted at the 1, Tom. So let's see.
Is it really? Because it looked like one of the judges had signaled touchback.
That second ball over?
Yeah, it's over.
All right. Well, no. Great recovery. He managed to down the ball on the 1-yard line.
Wow. My apologies there. I thought he signaled touchback, to be honest. But all right, we'll take the break. So 1st and 10 and about the 1/2. And the handoff up the middle,
tackle.
Not much at all.
Number 57.
That was Dante Whitaker, I think. No, I beg your no. It's Daryl Jerez had to carry.
I got it, thank you.
And a good tackle by 57. That's a Zandabrowski.
Zandabrowski came in off his defensive end spot, I believe it was. Came across down the line of scrimmage and was able to make a play, which is great. You teach the defensive end. The ball's going away from you. Continue down the line of scrimmage, and you try to make that play from behind if possible. So.
All right, so 2nd down now, a quarterback draw. That's not going to be much there. Keeping it is Nunez for only a yard, probably last play of the quarter. And it's going to be a long walk to the other side of the field, unless they decide to go up tempo. But it looks like they are not going to go ahead and run a play. So they'll take the long walk to the other side of the field, and we have reached quarter time here at Hillsborough High School. After 1, Hillsborough 7, Sayreville nothing. Let's take a break. We'll have quarter number 2 right after this.
When you want reliable work, trust family-owned A&B Landscaping to make your property look its best. With over 25 years of experience, our design team will help create an oasis in your backyard with landscaping, hardscaping, retaining walls, and more. Our commercial customers rely on us for landscaping and maintenance too. So no matter what type of property, we can handle it. We're the company you can trust, so give us a call today.
Back here at Hillsborough High School, I'm Tom Wilkins with Joey Pagan. Howard Gable with the controls here as we begin the second quarter. Hillsborough scored in their opening drive on a 4th and goal, 1-yard touchdown run by Jackson Jankowicz. That's been the only points. A 7-0 Hillsborough lead, and Sayreville back in their own territory, way deep, and it's at their own 4-yard line. Closer to the 3, actually. It's going to be a long 7, I'll tell you that much. All right, Nunez under center for this one. Let's see if they come. It's a handoff, and it's not going to be for much. To about the 6, and that's about it. And that was Sean Jackson, who got about 3. All that did was give the punter a little bit more room to punt from the end zone.
I think that's exactly what they were figuring on trying to do, is to give him just a little more space so that he's not standing at the very end of the end zone, just to be able to allow him to punt. But still, who are you punting to at this moment? It's dangerous. So, you want to be careful either way.
Key play of that drive, the 44-yard punt by Nate Drab, which downed the ball at the 1-yard line. And we'll see if Hillsborough tries to rush the punter here. He's standing like halfway in the end zone. Sayreville with a last-second substitution. See what happens here in this 4th down play. The snap and a good punt.
No.
And actually, considering it was a little bit over 30 yards, it got out to 37-yard line.
Right.
So, if anything, Hillsborough has great field position and plus territory.
Right. Sayreville didn't want to give Hillsborough this kind of field position. I mean, this is still really good field position. Right now what they need to do, Hillsborough, is go back to that run and see how they can, get the ball moving again. So that they can try to get back in the end zone right now.
Well, quietly, special teams is becoming an important part of this game, especially from a field position standpoint. So here's Seaman back on. Last 2 drives have been punts. Here he's got 2 receivers on the right on 1st and 10 from the 33. And they're going to go with a little bit of a counter trade to Schwartz and only get to about the 31. He got 2 on the play.
Right.
Interesting design there, but Sayreville wasn't fooled that much.
I mean, coach is trying to do certain things, different things here to not give them that same look every down, So you want to mix it up, but you want to also be positive. So he managed to get 2 yards out of that. Still good, but you always want a little more on 1st down so that you don't have to have too much to go on third and long. You don't want that.
2nd and 8 for the 31-yard line. They're going to line up a triple on the right side. Jankowicz next to Seaman. Now he switches sides to the right. High snap, play fake. Pass caught by Schwartz. No, it's dropped. And probably a good thing because he would have lost a couple yards on the play.
Definitely. Sayreville was all over that play. The corners read the play. They got off their blocks quickly and were able to get upfield and disrupt the play. So, but you're right. If he would have caught it, it would have been for a tackle for a loss.
What's going on up there?
The clock, guys.
We're going to have an official timeout. So we have an official timeout. Evidently, we have an issue they're working on right now.
10 minutes and 8 seconds on
So
the
they're going to refix it to 10 minutes and 8 seconds. So
Here we go. Here we go.
now they're set for play. Sometimes you want to make sure accuracy matters here. And now they're going to bring quite a package in for third down. They're going to send that triple along the left side this time on the 4-receiver set. Jankowitz to the left of Seaman, hoping not to go 3 and out again after 2 straight there. Play fake, swing pass, juggled, and couldn't haul it in. Well, Zukbar tried to get it, but I think he may have taken off before trying to catch the ball.
It did look like he was looking upfield, to start running. If he would have brought the ball in, he did have room to run. He might have been able to pick up, maybe not a first down, but he would have gotten very close to it. And, still 4 down territories as far as Hillsborough are concerned, but it would have been a more manageable 4th down. So,
well, right now, Hillsborough does not have its punter on the field, so they're thinking about going for it on 4th down. So we'll see how they line this up. They might throw a hard count. We'll see. But they're not going to try a 49-yard field goal. But they could also take a delay of game, too. Between split backs, Seaman in the shotgun, 3 wide slot left. They're going to take the snap. There's a rush and a lob down the right sideline and over Jankowicz's head, incomplete. There are no flags, and Hillsborough turns the ball over on downs. And this is actually a win for Sayreville because even though it was a little bit slow, they just gained 25 yards of field position.
That is correct. It looked like there was some kind of miscommunication between the quarterback and Jankowicz, as to what they were calling. Because, he just threw the ball. He overthrew him by a lot. So I think he expected him to just take off down the field. Yeah.
And even Jankowicz might have been held, and he was actually saying, hey, what about the tug?
True.
It happens. Sometimes you just have to watch what the players do and then adapt to it. So 1st and 10 to 31 for Sayreville after getting the ball on downs. A lot of motion on this one. Nunez will give to Jackson. And Jackson has nowhere to go.
Yep.
Flattened at the 29-yard line, a 2-yard loss.
Well, the defense for Hillsborough is coming up big right now, and they're all over this run. They're on the line. They're attacking the way they're supposed to. They're maintaining their gap rushing, and they're trying to make sure this gentleman does not get started. He had so many yards last week. That's what film was telling you. We're not going to let this guy get us,
You might have heard the Mateo Del Toro fan section because he made a great tackle. So now 2nd and 12. They send a man in motion. Now Nunez will run it. Not going to be much.
Oh, once again. And who is it again? Mateo on the tackle.
Daryl Jerez with a carry. Only got a yard.
Yeah.
Borowski also helped with the stop. And now looks like 3rd and 10. They were back to the line of scrimmage. So he ends up getting the 2 that was lost earlier. So again, Sayreville with a 3rd and long as we're under 9 minutes till halftime, and Hillsborough with a 7-0 lead.
Yeah, that's right. Like I said, the linebackers, are key tonight. And Mateo's having a great game so far. He's got to keep that up all night. So
let's see if the defense can hold him to another 3 and out. They triple to right. Nunez back there, coming, and a throw right side, a one-hopper incomplete. It went for Jackson, but in the area was Khalif Kuzaima, I believe. Jackson, the intended receiver there, but again, Sayreville really struggling with their offense. Is it possible that we have a one-dimensional offense here?
It would seem to be that, they can't get their running game started and they're forced to pass. They're not a very good passing team. So you would think, they are kind of one-dimensional, and Hillsborough is stopping that run right now.
Devin Grass, the punt. He's standing at about the 18-yard line. Takes a good snap. They're coming. And it's taking about the 42-yard line. Let's see what happens here. I think it was Santiago. Good coverage, though, by the Sayreville special teams. He only gets to about the 44, and that is where Hillsborough will begin first.
Good job by the special teams in Sayreville, being able to corral him there and not allow him to get started and get upfield and do anything with the ball because, that young man, Santiago, is really good, too. He's really good. So, they got it, so.
Well, so far we have had a bunch of 3 and outs ever since the opening touchdown drive. We've had a turnover on downs. We've had an interception, and the rest have been punts. Now let's see if Hillsborough can break that string. They go 4 receivers. They triple the near side. Well, let's see what Seaman does. Schwartz is in the game to his right, and he'll get that carry. And he's
good
brought
play.
down right
Good
at
play
the
by the
line of
defensive
scrimmage. I believe that was Adrian Gilbert to stop the senior.
Good job. Good job by him, looking down the line of scrimmage and being able to make that play. Obviously he didn't have to get upfield. He realized, okay, the ball's being handed off. Let me get to my strike zone. I see where the ball is at and make the play. So
Okay, so it is 2nd and 10 for the 44-yard line. We'll give you some progress scores in a moment. And again, they send a triple to the right side and a 4-receiver set. Seaman in the shotgun. Back to pass. Got to throw a swing. He's got Santiago at about the 49, so a 5-yard pickup that time. Good bring down by Brian Zangrillo, who's had a nice game. Nice first half so far.
good job by the quarterback with Santiago. He did a little crossing route there. He was open. It's good for 5 yards, 6 yards, which is what you want. And, Santiago, like I said, once he gets started, once you get him involved in the game, it opens up that passing game a little bit. But then it'll open up the running game for you again. Let's see what they come up with here. It's empty backfield now.
Well, yeah, they have an empty gun this time. They're heavy on the left. 3rd and 5 from the 49. Here's Seaman. He'll throw on the pass. Caught by Jankowitz. First down to 40, down to about the 35, 34-yard line. Talk about taking a chance. Sayreville took a chance of a pick 6 and came up empty, and Hillsborough finally gets a first down.
You are right with that, Tom. The defender really did take a chance of trying to make that play. And, this is a chance you take. You either make it or you don't. He didn't make it, and Jankowitz was able to turn around and go upfield. And lucky thing there was a safety back there, because if not, he would have been off to the races.
18-yard pickup. By the way, some progress scores. Ridge, who had a sounding win over Hillsborough last week. They're up 7-0 over Phillipsburg. Also, first quarter, Hunter and Central 7-0 over Bridgewater. And Union in the second quarter, 6-0 over Westfield. So 1st and 10 for the 33-yard line. 3 wide slot left here. And they play fake. Seaman back. Let's see if he takes a shot down the field. He will, and it's incomplete. Santiago looked like he was tapping the goal line, but no flag is thrown. Unless it was deemed uncatchable.
Wow, that did look like it was, I mean, even if it's not PI, pass interference, you have to have some kind of contact downfield at least.
Peculiarly interesting, that's for sure.
Like I said, once again, Santiago they went at him. He was open. Defender did the right thing. I trip him up so he can't make the play.
Well, thankful, and even if it was pass interference, it would have only been a 15-yard penalty. It's not a spot foul in high school, at least in this league.
Yes.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Again, split backs. I've been seeing a bit more of it on this drive. Jankowitz to the left, Schwartz to the right. And it's going to be a play fake. They may option. They will. With Jankowitz, who slips out about the 30-yard line. Still going to the 20 and into the red zone. Inside the 20.
Great work by Jankowitz there. I mean, he broke that tackle. He was able to get to the edge and take up field. It was a good pitch. The quarterback waited to the very last second to be able to pitch that ball, which allowed the freeze the defense just enough for Jankowitz to be able to get a field on that.
And I'll tell you what, he came close to losing yards on that play, but instead it's a gain of 17, and it's 1st and 10 for Hillsborough in the red zone at the 16-yard line, looking to extend under 7-0 lead midway through the second quarter. Here they'll have a triple on the left. 4 receivers set. Jackson Jankowitz in the middle of that triple. Schwartz to the left of Seaman. And now whistles blow, and a flag is down for a false start.
False start. Hillsborough, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
The far end judge made the false start signal right off the bat after the whistle. So it's a 5-yard penalty. So they'll move it back. And you don't want to have these penalties, especially if you're that deep in scoring.
Right. The first half was pretty good. We only had 1 penalty in that first quarter, I should say. And now we got a few here. So Hillsborough needs to be careful. You don't want to be going in the wrong direction. Although this just widens the field for you, too. It gives you a little more room to work what you want to work. So, yeah. So, your options are a little more now that you have a little more field to work with.
All right, so each team with a 5-yard penalty in this game. Nothing spectacular, no holds or pass interference or any major fouls yet. Back to a spread on 1st and 15 for the 21-yard line. Seaman back to pass. He's going to throw to his right. Pass is
There he
caught,
is.
and Santiago gets to about the 11. Let's see where they spot it. Just shy of the 11. They'll say the 12-yard line. So that was a gain of 9 on the play. It'll be second and probably about 6.
Well, good catch, good pass, good catch. Santiago, once again, once you get him started on that outside, it works for you. It's just as good as a run, which hopefully open up the run for them again a little later on.
Second and 6. They send a triple to the far side this time. Jankowitz to the left of Seaman, who takes a snap, a high one, but Jankowitz will carry. Has a chance at the 10. He's moving his receivers to the 5, and he's got first and goal to 3. A 9-yard pickup for Jankowitz, who is churning up some rushing yards here in this first half.
He is definitely racking up the yards here. He's gonna be having some really good yards this evening, but it was good on his part. Once again, he just planted his foot, made that cut, and was able to drive the defender with him a couple of extra yards and get about 4 or 5 yards out of that run, when he should have just might have made maybe 1 or 2 only.
All right, they're going big here. First and goal to 3. Zion Grant again now. Let's see if he gets a carry. Jankowitz behind him. They give it to Jankowitz, and he pushes and doesn't get back to the line of scrimmage.
Sayreville defense was all over that. They were ready for that call. They knew that something was coming. They wanted to see, so just, it's just something for you to think about as far as the running go here. Once again, this close, we could have probably did play action, might have been a better call because it looked like Sayreville was ready for the run.
Brian Zangrillo again with the stop. Dimitri Desario also helped. Kevin Carty calling a big goal-to-goal play as we're coming down to 4:45 left till halftime. This time Schwartz is in the backfield with Grant. And they pitch it out to Schwartz, being chased. And he escapes out of a tackle, but does not quite get in. So a lot of running. He may have gotten a yard out of the play.
Looks like he did get a yard out of it, but that was great effort by Schwartz. He had in the backfield there, managed to break that tackle and keep his balance, and was able to get up back to the line of scrimmage, maybe just a gain of a yard or so, which is great.
Well, we'll see what happens here on third down. Schwartz is still in there. And once again, going a very tight package here. They do have Santiago lined up on the near side as a receiver. I formation. What will they do? They hand it, and it's Schwartz pushing. He's not getting in.
No, he's not.
And that defense has really been stout. Dimitri Desario again with the stop.
Yeah, he's been coming up big for the Sayreville defense, in that middle of the defensive line there. The offensive line was getting a great push early. They're not getting as big of a push right now, which is why I said, they're expecting run. You come and you run a play action. Right now would be the great or stretch.
Well, they might go jumbo one more time, and they're going to go 3 wide instead. Interesting 4th and goal call from the 2. Jankowitz to the left of Seaman, and now whistles blow. Somebody's called a timeout. It's going to be Sayreville. So Sayreville will use their first timeout, and shall we keep them in suspense here? Yeah, we'll break. 3:14 till halftime. 7-0 Hillsborough over Sayreville. Find out what happens on 4th and goal after this. Very big call here for Hillsborough. 4th and goal from the 2-yard line. Sayreville coming back from that timeout. Let's see what Hillsborough does. Seaman in the shotgun. Jankowitz to its left. They triple the right. Let's see what they do here. Seaman back. Under a rush. Looks. He fires. He's got it! Welcome to the end zone!
Great job by Anderson.
This time it's Chinmay Ozukpur who clears the area. How about
job.
that? 2 scores, both on 4th downs. Hillsborough extends their lead.
Great job. The offensive line was able to hold their blocks the way you want them to. Seaman looked left first really quick. I don't know if that just threw off the defense for a little bit, then came back right and was able to find the receiver open in the end zone for the touchdown. Great job.
And I'll tell you what, that's got to feel really good for Ryan Seaman to come through with that touchdown pass. Here's the extra point, snap, kick on its way. It's heading out to Princeton. 14-0 as Hillsborough comes through and scores late here in this first half. Let's check the replay. What exactly happened there that got Zukor open? He's, of course, you're closest to the line.
Yeah, he's the slot receiver there, the very first receiver. Seaman, like I said, he looked left for just a split second, and then he comes back right. It was a good move by the receiver. He stepped in and then turned out to the outside and was able to get on, open there, which was great.
I'm sure he was very happy they were able to make that call and finally get himself into pay dirt for, I believe, the first time this year. So that's got to feel good for the senior.
Yeah, it's your senior year. You want to be able to get into that end zone a few times. But, the first one is always special. So that's a great job by both, the quarterback and him and being able to get into the end zone.
So Hillsborough has had 3 4th down conversions. They're 2 for 3, and the 2 are both for touchdowns. Not bad.
Not bad at all.
All right, here comes the kickoff. Directional kick. That might be heading for the sideline, and yet again it does. So, may not be a bad call after all, but Sayreville will start from their own 35 after that. So, question now, you're Sayreville. You got 3:10 till halftime. You also get the ball to start the second half, but you don't have a first down yet. What do you think you're going to call here?
Well, once again, we've noticed they're a little bit one-dimensional, that if their run is not working, they don't have an effective passing game.
Eric, stay there.
So, you got to think that they're going to still try to establish that run. It is 2 touchdowns. You still got a whole half. You do get the ball back. You want to get positive. I'd say you want something to build off of when you come back in the second half.
Okay, 1st and 10 for the 35-yard line. They send Jackson in motion, and he's got the ball, and he's not going to go far. He may get a yard. That's it.
Yeah, no. He good tackle by Nick Duente on the tackle again, which was great on his part. And it looks like he's running a little hesitant because he got the handoff and he started stepping rather than, turning upfield with some aggression and trying to find a hole. So...
Well, I'll tell you one thing, probably lack of urgency in regards to what Sayreville's doing. But don't forget, on both sides, hesitation has cost both teams here. They got 2 receivers on the left here on 2nd and 9 from the 36. Nunez now goes misdirection. Let's see if this is covered. No, crossing the 40. Still going. Midfield, 40. He may take off to the 20. And he is, thrown down. By Jankowitz inside the 5. Devin Kress was able to take him down.
Oh, there's a flag on the play.
The flag back all the way at the line of scrimmage. It may come back.
Let's see what he calls, this ref here.
We will find out. Oh, that is going to hurt Sayreville if it is on them. That's the indication. But, of course, referee Dave Race is going to give the final call, and everyone's coming back. That's probably why we heard all the hubbub in the back row of the bleachers.
Yeah, that's true. It was a great play call. Misdirection there, the flow of the defense was actually going one way, and then, they went back the other way with the ball, which was great. But there was way too many moving parts there where you almost knew somebody was going to do something.
Yeah, right there. That's all it is. And you're good. You're good.
And it was the referee who threw that flag.
Huh? At 55, wrapped around the waist, 55.
They ruled it, illegal block. So it is a 10-yard penalty from the spot.
Offense, number 55. 10-yard penalty from the spot, second down.
So it is a hold. And remember, it's 10 yards from the spot of the foul. So all the way back to the 26-yard line. That's a tough call after a 60-yard run. So instead, 2nd and 19. From the 26, Jackson runs into his own man, and Nunez got to keep it himself.
Let him go.
He may get a yard to the 27, and Sayreville in complete cahoots right now.
Yeah, they seem to be all.
And,
Timeout, guys. Timeout.
and Hillsborough called a timeout. So why don't we take a break with 2:05 left in the half? Hillsborough ahead of Sayreville, 14-0. We'll come back in just a moment.
Eric, stay there.
Pretty raucous crowd here at Hillsborough High School here. 2:05 left in the half, and the Raiders ahead of the Bombers 14-0, and a big 3rd and 19 coming up for Sayreville from their own 26. They look like they were very close to scoring, but a holding penalty wiped out a 60-yard run by Devin Crass. Let's see what happens on 3rd and 19. Nunez under center. Now they're going to reverse it. Watch out. Here's Jackson. He slams on the
Great
brakes
job.
because he had nowhere to go. Ozokbar says, slam the door shut.
Yeah, defensive end held his ground, did exactly what he was supposed to do, not chase that ball going the other way, and he was able to make a play on that. Once again, though, the running back really looks like he's shaky out there now.
Yeah, let's take a look at the replay as Hillsborough uses their second timeout. I mean, they tried to reverse, and then when Jackson realized he had nowhere to go, tell me where Zukbar was.
Zukbar was, he's playing middle linebacker right now, so that was a good read by him. He was coming on a blitz, looking at the ball, following it, was able to get outside. Look at that. Nope, and nobody picked him up. Yeah, great
And Nunez
job.
couldn't block him. Probably wouldn't be a good idea to block him.
That probably wouldn't have, but he didn't see him. If he would have seen him, that would have been a big play for Sayreville, for sure, which is what they needed just going into the half. But we'll see what happens here now.
And it ends up being a 2-yard loss, and instead of Crash having a 60-yard run, he's punting again. Returner back at his 45. Let's see what happens here. Snap taken, no real rush. The guy can kick. Let's see if it's returnable. No, it's down to 49-yard line. Santiago was back, but he decided to let it go, and probably smart that he did.
I think it was a good idea not to field that punt, but good kick by the kicker. He's been doing a pretty decent job. Like you said earlier, special teams are doing okay here. I mean, just Hillsborough has been lucky on 4th down and goal to be able to score 2 touchdowns.
Definitely. By the way, while we have a second, crazy shouts to my wife, Donna, who celebrated a birthday yesterday. Spent pretty much a whole day with her, which is very nice because I'm hardly ever off. So
happy birthday, Donna.
Many happy returns to the wife, and I love you, and thank you for everything and for all your support of me doing this. All right, so back to the game, 1st and 10 for the 49-yard line. As Seaman is back, he's going to lob one, pass caught, and that's a Zukbar who had the touchdown a short time ago. He gets 2. And he's on the other side at the 49-yard line. Now, Hillsborough has 1 timeout left, and the clock running 1:35 and 2nd and 8.
Here they're going into a hurry-up offense right now. So let's see what they come up with here.
Got to play fast here, see if they can get some points, even if it's a field goal. They triple to left on the 4-receiver set. Seaman back, play fake. They swing. Schwartz has it. Has some yardage. 45,
Good
sneaks
run.
out 40 on a first down to 36. 13 yards on the play. They'll stop the clock.
It's a great call. Great call. It's just as good as a run. You know, you got good yardage there. You're moving the chains. You know, the clock is still running, and you know you got the timeout, and you're getting closer to field goal range if that's what you're looking for.
All right, so first down. Back goes Seaman. Got to take a shot to the right, and a pass just a little
Good
undercut
try.
for Santiago, incomplete. That was a good try, though. But with 51 seconds till halftime, they faced with a 2nd and 10.
Yeah, that was something else there. And just like you, Tom, giving a shout-out, I want to give a shout-out to my grandson, Noah. Yeah, Noah got all A's on his report card. He sent me a picture. All
Nicely
A's.
done.
Yeah, all A's. Great job, Noah. Congratulations. Love you, buddy.
Hey, it doesn't matter whether you're in Texas, Kentucky, Florida, Puerto Rico, HSG Network on YouTube. Subscribe. We have 2850. We're going for 3,000. So go ahead and subscribe. More in a moment as this pass is caught
Great
by
pass.
Jankowicz, who will get to about the 25, 20
Great
and a
move.
first down, and he does get out of bounds.
That was a big play there. Not only the move that he made to continue to get upfield, but getting out of bounds was big because it stops the clock for Hillsborough now. And here you have options, whether you try to get into the end zone here, but you still got that one timeout. So your play calling is pretty much open to what you want.
Gain of 17. As I mentioned, HSG Network on YouTube. Subscribe, especially fans in Sayreville or anywhere else. Please make sure you tune in because we got plenty of other stuff, high school football, youth football coming this weekend, and a bunch of other things. So make sure you subscribe, HSG Network on YouTube. Almost at 3,000. We want to get you guys as part of it as well. All right, 1st and 10 for the 19 as Seaman in the red zone. Looking, got to take a shot for home, and it is knocked
great
away.
defense.
Incomplete. That was Sherwin Apaya, the sophomore linebacker who knocked it away from Santiago, the intended receiver. What a nice defensive play.
Great defensive play. Santiago was open there too, but it was great defensive play. Quarterback, the ball placement was a little too inside. If he would have put it a little more outside, it might have been a little better play for Santiago to come down with. He might have been able to come down with that.
And keep in mind, the wind's still swirling, so maybe that has something to do with the passes today.
That's correct.
So down to 40 seconds left. Again, Hillsborough, one timeout. That's plenty of time for them. They just got to manage it. Remember, Sayreville gets the ball to start the second half. They wanted to toss, and they choose for the second half, and that's what they get for the start of the second half. They triple to right, 4-receiver set, empty gun, actually. Back goes Seaman looking. Going to take a shot. Oh, and that got slammed down. He was going to take a shot and gets volleyballed down again for the second time in this game, incomplete.
Great job by the defensive lineman. Once again, you're taught if you can't get back in the backfield, once you start penetrating, you get your hands up, you start looking for the quarterback to get the release, and as soon as he's going to throw the ball, you jump up to try to block it, and that's exactly what the defensive lineman did. It was a great job by him.
And Sayreville's played some very good defense in this game at times. And
they have been playing pretty good defense just on that goal line situation. They just haven't been able to stop the pass.
Here they line up on a 3rd and 10 for the 19-yard line. Seaman awaits a shotgun, but he's going to give it to Jankowicz instead, and he's going to get to about the 15-yard line now. Is Hillsborough going to use their last time out here? It looks like they will. All right, so we'll keep it here with 28 seconds left till halftime. And it'll be interesting to see if they try a field goal, it's going to be like 32 yards. What do you think Cardi's talking to his Hillsborough people about?
Right now he's got to he wants to make sure his offensive line is ready and they get on their blocks. They make sure that they're holding their blocks. And 2, you got to think here, you may want to take that shot into the end zone. It's the only play you got. If you're not, a first down, and if it's a completed pass, the clock is going to continue to run. So if you don't get out of bounds, then that'll be the half. So I think you want to get in the end zone. I think you're going to come up with your best play, maybe a little play action here to try to get it out there into the end zone, or maybe another screen play because, that's been working well for them. So.
Well, it doesn't look like they're bringing the field goal kicker out for this one, so considering 28 seconds left till halftime, it is 4th and 5 from the 14-yard line. So we'll see if they try another swing pass, but it's an empty gun. They go heavy on the right, and now Sayreville might have countered.
I'm not called by Sayreville.
Sayreville.
All right, so Sayreville uses their second time. And now on the Sayreville side, let's mention their head coach is Mark Poor, assisted by a whole bunch of people. Unfortunately, principal is small. You have Mike Novak, Andrew. Good Lord. But again, we'll do in the third quarter. But again, Mark Poor is the head coach. But the question here is, what's he telling his players?
Well, he's telling them make sure we got to defend the end zone, right? You want to, and you also want to keep the ball inbounds, because Hillsborough doesn't have any more timeouts. You definitely want to defend the end zone. You don't want to let them, get into the end zone on this. If anything, you want a short pass and you want to rally to the ball, or even if it's a pass to the sideline, you don't want it to be past the first down marker because it's still 27 seconds. So you definitely want to try to keep everything inbounds to keep the clock rolling.
Reset the game clock to 28 seconds.
Okay, so they want the game clock now 28 seconds officially left in the half.
Thank you.
So they got it fixed up, and we will have 4th and 5 from the 14-yard line. Empty gun again, going heavy on the right. And, oh, wait a minute. Flags are down. Let's see what this is about.
False start. False start. Hillsborough.
Needless to say, I don't think Seaman was too happy with the way that 4th down came out because that's a false start.
Okay.
So now you go from 4th and 5 back to 4th and 10 at the 19-yard line. So might change play call a little bit, wouldn't you think?
I think so. It does change the play call. Once again, like I said, sometimes penalties help you out and giving you more space to be able to run those routes a little deeper than what you were planning on running. And, you can get into the end zone.
Same format as before. Back goes Seaman looking. Gonna take a shot. Pass caught by Jenkins. He got it! Welcome to the end zone! Boy, did he clear the area again! His second touchdown of the game this time. Another 4th down conversion for Hillsborough. 3 for 4 on that mark, and he's got 3 touchdowns out of it.
Great job by the quarterback, Seaman, and he found his receiver. Once again, like I said, it opened up, by getting that penalty, opened up the spacing as to what you run, the route, how you run it. He might have ran that a little shorter if it was closer. So let's see the extra point here.
All right, snap kick on its way to make it 21-0 Hillsborough. And we definitely need to see that play again because I did not expect Jankowitz to cut in.
Right. I got to see where he was lined up at over here.
Yeah, slot left.
Slot left. Once again, like I said, the spacing, he had more room to run that route a lot deeper than what he would have if it would have been called sooner. Great catch. And this is all effort here to be able to break the tackle, get into the end zone. Great job. Great job.
And he was shrugging like, why didn't this happen earlier?
Exactly.
Well, and I'll tell you what, he went full extension. I think he also cut the route a little short, and that kind of helped a little bit with his speed, and he just was in full flight.
Exactly.
To get himself in. So how about what a first half for Hillsborough?
Hillsborough, what a first half. 4th down, seems to be their best down right now. They're looking to be 4th down every time. Let's call it 4th down every time so we can score.
Listen to this, 3 for 4 on 4th down conversions, and they got 21 points based on 4th down calls. Now, it'd probably be too risky to do it from your own territory to 10, but, that's another story.
That's exactly right, bud.
I got 11 points. Okay, Eric, give him the ball.
So, I'll tell you what, as far as Sayreville is concerned, Mark Poor, the head coach, boy, he's going to have to come up with some sort of rallying speech to get them going. As mentioned, they'll get a ball to start the second half. The question is, with one timeout, are they going to be worth risking trying to score in such a short time? They go on the ground. I might go out of bounds, and it does.
It does. I'd like to be a fly on the wall there in that locker room for Sayreville to be able to hear what he's going to come up with. What speech is he going to give them? Because once again, really, their offense has been non-existent right now. 2 plays, and were called back based on penalties. So, your best offense was your worst offense because you got penalties on them. In the first quarter, relatively good first quarter with no penalties. And then now the second quarter, I think they got like 3 or 4 called on them. So, and 2 were really bad.
Well,
costly.
The most costly of all was Devin Crasson, that 60-yard run.
Yes.
That would have put him inside the 5, but a holding penalty on the play sent it back. That is as tough of a break as you can get. So 1st and 10 for Sayreville to 35, 22 seconds left in the half. Let's see what they do. A delayed hand, that is Crass. And they're coming up on him, and down he goes. And Sayreville's like, well, back to the old drawing board. We're going to the locker room after this one. So they're just going to let the clock run out. And how about Hillsborough with a tremendous first half as they will go into the locker room up 21-0. Joey, your thoughts?
Once again, I thought I was going to see a great running game by Sayreville, and there has been nothing with that in mind. They haven't been able to. Hillsborough's defense has come to play. Lights out defense, shutting them down. So credit to Hillsborough. We'll be back.
All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to take a short break. We will come back with the Pride of Hillsborough Raider Marching Band and their 2024 halftime show. With Hillsborough leading Sayreville 21-0 at the half, we'll have the band coming up after this.
The world is alive with color. Know that each of us is a work of art in constant progress. You are your own canvas, your own combination of colors, your own brush, and your own inspiration. So let's explore your color palette.
Reading personalities are generally compassionate and harmonious. You value relationships, are naturally empathetic, and often place others first. So color your life with optimism and joy so that each day will bring something special.
Is often characterized by determination and a dynamic approach to life. You tend to enjoy living life in the fast lane and generally quick to make decisions. So be bold and splash your life story with red.
reflective and appreciate the beauty of nature. You prefer to observe and understand the world around you. So paint your world with harmonious shades of blue.
Personalities are typically very optimistic, creative, and inspire others. You radiate warmth and positivity with an energy that tends to draw people towards you. So be uniquely you. Stand out and shine.
Add as many colors to your painting and make it beautiful. Together, we can brighten the whole landscape. experience that makes the difference.
All right, we are back here at Hillsborough High School. Just trying to catch my breath here as we are about to start the second half. I'm Tom Wilkins. You see me to the right, Joey Pagan to the left. Howard Gaber, of course, not pictured, taking care of the controls here. Want to give you a little highlight package of what we saw here in the first half. Jackson Jankowitz, as we see Hillsborough now running back onto the field.
Right.
Fourth down, and look at this. Air Jackson for the first score of the game on 4th and goal from the 1.
Great touchdown there. You know, once again, that was early in the first quarter where I told you the offensive line was having their push, and it was good for him. He was able to get up and over for the touchdown.
And, of course, the extra point kicker is Andrew Advani. Little do we know that he's also an interceptor, as you can see on this play.
Yeah, it was safety here. He was reading well. He was able to get underneath there and catch read that and just jump on the ball and make a great play on it. Good interception.
So it was 7-0 Hillsborough at quarter time. It was a lull for a while as both teams went 3 and out or went on downs. But then on a 4th down play, this is quite a play here by quarterback Ryan Seaman. As you will see, Ozukbar puts on a 4th and goal score.
All right, once again, he's spread open. He makes an inside move, turns, and then gets open right there. It was enough to get him open, and the quarterback Seaman was able to get a quick pass to him. Good pass, good catch. Excellent.
2 4th down conversions for touchdowns. How about a third one, as you're about to see here on 4th and 5 from the 14, actually 4th and 10 from the 19, as Jankowicz strikes again.
Once again, here's Jankowicz on that. Just a quick slant right there. Was able to get open, make space, touchdown in the end zone. Great pass, great catch. Hillsborough, great job first half.
Absolutely. So give Hillsborough a lot of credit. I mean, considering on how disappointing they were last week against Ridge, they have really responded with a tremendous first half.
But that's exactly what you want from your team. You come off of a tough loss, and you know you're facing a team that, you know, just got their first win also, and who are looking to build on that. And here we have, you know, and their running back came off of a great game and has had no effect on Hillsborough this evening. You know, let's see what adjustments, you know, Sayreville comes up with now in the second half. Hillsborough just needs to continue to play great defense, shut down that run, and we'll be out of here with the W tonight.
Well, we do have some progress scores for you. I don't know if it was earlier today or yesterday, but sadly for it was a 6 o'clock start for Franklin, as unfortunately not a good day for them, as St. Thomas Aquinas won 49-6. Other games currently going on near halftime. Middlesex 14-0 over Manville. North Hunterdon 19-0 over Montgomery. Ridge 14-7 over Phillipsburg. Westfield's taking a 7-6 lead on Union, and now in the third quarter, good one in Hunterdon Central, as Bridgewater has a 28-20 lead on Hunterdon Central. They're in the third quarter of that game.
Well, great job. So bad for Franklin over there. They were doing so well.
Oh, come on.
They were doing so well.
Break, will ya?
They were doing so well. You know, I mean, listen, all good things, you know, but I mean, at least they still having a good season so far. Hopefully they can finish out strong.
Hey, as long as you're by a certain deadline, you're at the 500 mark or better, you're in the playoffs.
That is it.
Okay, so Sayreville, who decided to choose to start the game, so they take the directional kick to start the second half, and it's returned, surprisingly enough, to about the 35-yard line. Probably should go out of bounds, but I guess it was parallel too close to the line, so they couldn't really take a chance on it.
It did look like it was, going to probably take a bounce back inside, so he didn't want to give that, take the chance. So he fielded the ball, got a couple of yards, great coverage by the defense, the special teams. Now let's see what Sayreville can come up with here. Do we go back do we try to run this again and see? But I think we got to see some kind of passing game now.
Well, considering the run game really hasn't worked too well, except for that one play, which sadly was called back on Devin Crass's long run. Now let's see what Nick Nunez can do on first down. Gives it to Jackson, tries to find a hole. He'll get a little bit to the 37-yard line, it looks like.
Yeah, he got a couple of yards off of that one this time. The offensive line did a little bit of blocking, but Hillsborough's defense had, their linebackers are filling their gaps. Defensive line are controlling their line of scrimmage and allowing the linebackers to come up and make plays, which is a great thing for them.
Azukbar with the stop there. It is 2nd and 7 from the 37-yard line. They're probably just past the 36. Nunez will be in the shotgun. Actually, he'll be under center here. Or let's see what they do here. They'll wait to snap. And they do with the handoff to about the 38, but that's about it. And once again, Devin Kress.
And Mateo again on the play, on the tackle. So they did well. Good job by this
Oh,
defense.
and Kress is down.
Yeah.
Let's hope he's all right.
Well, good job by the defensive line. Hopefully this young man is okay. But great job by the defensive line coming up with a big stop here. Once again, filling their gaps the way they're supposed to and making the play.
Well, while we do this, we'll take a break just a minute into the third quarter. Hillsborough leads Sayreville 21-0. We'll give you the update on Kress when we come back.
Get ready for Countdown to Christmas, only on Hallmark Channel.
I'm going to bed.
Christmas makes me believe in love.
Okay, we are back. Of course, the delay was for the injury to Devin Kress. He's being helped to the Sayreville sideline. We're hoping it's not a serious injury, but we'll keep you updated if we hear anything. But in the meantime, Sayreville will have 3rd and 5, a long 5 from the 38-yard line. And now, I'll tell you what, as far as quarterback Nick Nunez is concerned, he's really up against it now.
He's definitely up against him. One less weapon for him on his offense, although the offense have been really quiet this evening here. So
let's see what Nunez does. Back the pass. He's being chased. He has to throw. And the pass is caught. What a nice grab at the 49-yard line. Nice grab by Kashava Sadowski, the senior wide receiver. And folks, that is the first down of the game for Sayreville.
Took him a whole half to get a first down, but you know what? It was a big one, great yardage, and he was being pressured from the backside by the backer, which was, great. I think, it was a good pass, good catch. Once again, things like this go, they happen. So,
all right, they go spread 1st and 10. Here's Nunez firing pass, and it's incomplete. Jackson just couldn't get it. And he was probably pressuring to try and catch it quickly because the defender was getting very close and it could have taken a big hit.
Yeah.
So incomplete, so 2nd and 10.
Yeah, the defender was closing on him really quick there. I think maybe he was thinking about running before he even had the ball. So, first things first, you got to catch the ball and then turn and get upfield.
And trust me, Joey, this happens to every team, receivers all the time. It's like secure, then go.
Yes, right. Even happens in the NFL. You see it in the NFL too also. So
it happens on every level. Doesn't matter if it's youth or the NFL. 2nd and 10 for the 49. Nunez is going to give to Jackson. We'll see if he gets some running room. He will this time. Down to the 43 for a gain of 6.
All right, so here we have it right now. They're opening up by passing the ball. They're trying to get the defense to play a little softer than what they were in the first half, right? Everything was expected was run. They go and they complete a few passes. Now the defense has got to think, hey, now they're going to try to pass. So the linebackers are playing a little softer and not looking at that run as much. So the defensive line just needs to step up a little more here and make a play or two.
3rd and 4 from the 43-yard line. In the shotgun is Nunez. Back to his left. 3 wide slot left. See what happens here. Back to pass. Looking. Gonna take a shot down the field. It is a little bit short, a little bit overthrown, incomplete. That ball was up there for a while, though.
It did hang for a little bit, but Jankovic was right there on coverage, so that was a good thing for him.
They intended it for Joseph Corbejo, the junior wide receiver, just couldn't come down with it. And you'd have to think right now you're down 21-0, early 4-down territory, you would think.
I say so. I believe so. It's got to be 4-down territory. I don't think they need to stretch the ball that far downfield. I mean, you just want to keep the defense honest and you want to keep them guessing. So you got to take a shot every now and then. But a good play action here might get you that first down, though.
All right. So 4th and 4 from the 43-yard line. Nunez in the shotgun. Let's see how it goes here. Jackson goes in motion, play fake. Back goes Nunez, looking pressured. Fires, has a man. It is knocked away by the kicker.
Great defense, number 5.
Well, it was intended for, it looked like it was Barnes who was intended the receiver, but the play was made by Andrew Advani, who punched it away, and Sayreville turns the ball over on downs. So now he can kick extra points. He can knock away passes and intercept.
Hey, there you go. I mean, it was great defense by the defender number 5 on that play. And he came back, he was able to get there and get his hand in there and knock the ball out at the last minute. If not, that would have been a big play. 6 points. It would have been in the end zone.
Major play there. And now Ryan Seaman will have the ball for the first time in the second half. First down, a swing to Schwartz. Schwartz crossing midfield, and they'll get to about the 48.
Great job.
Oh, so far, I'm sorry, was able to get the grab. It's about 8.
Yeah, it gets about 8. Good job by Hillsborough, Seaman with the pass. This is exactly how they opened up the first half, the very first play of the game with that swing pass, and he wound up getting, I think, 25, 30 yards on that, so that he got 8 on this one, close enough. Second and
about 1 yard, maybe 4 feet. They'll give him 9. Second and a yard, they'll go spread here. And now keeping it as Seaman, he'll have a first down. Took a bit of a hard hit, but he's able to get to about the 45 and move those chains.
It was a good call. Good call. I mean, second and 1, your playbook is open for you. You can call anything. Even if you get stopped, you're still short, so, you still have a chance. But it was a great call. Great run by the Seaman on the quarterback there and seeing the hole and just shooting it really quickly.
And Kevin Carty definitely got to open the playbook up now 21-0, but they want to make sure they secure this before they go too crazy with it.
Right. The key is just to keep the ball moving, get those first downs.
Here's a pass and hit as he throws the ball. He has a man. It is caught inside the 10, down to about the 7-yard line. And Santiago's the one who brings it down for a 38-yard catch and first and goal.
Great job by Santiago to get that ball over the shoulder. Great pass by Seaman. It was awesome catch. Like I said, this kid, from the last game, I remember him. He's electrifying. He's really good. Good hands. Good concentration, great way to bring the ball in. First down, Hillsborough, and once again, keep the chains moving. Clock is ticking, and you're close to scoring.
Keisha Sadowski with the stop, ended up stopping a score on that play. First and goal from the 7 as Seaman and I formation. It's a pitch out, running inside the 5, pushing his way to he might get in. We'll see. A little bit of a rugby scrum, and now they say to stop at the 1-yard line.
Good try by Baker there. He almost got into the end zone. He was trying to break the tackles, the offense line trying to push him, but he wasn't able to get in. But it's a good look. You got a different back end. You think, okay, he's not getting the ball. They're going to try to probably pass again. And sure enough, you toss it to him. He gets a couple of yards there. Second and goal.
Brendan Barker, the 6-yard pickup. He's the senior running back here on this play with Zion Grant. So a really jumbo package here on second and goal. Or will this be a sneak? No, it's Barker. And he's the Price is Right. Welcome to the end zone.
And there go the lights again for these touchdowns. This guy's busy with the lights behind us here,
You're not kidding. They cleared the area very well, and Barker's got to be thrilled. 1-yard touchdown to extend the lead for Hillsborough. The first touchdown scored not involving a 4th down conversion.
This is true. They managed to get the ball there, and, good running play again, and here we go for an extra point. They're setting up quickly for this. Great run by the senior there. Good job.
All right, Advani will come on for the extra point. He's 3 for 3 in that. Let's see if he goes 4 for 4. And he does.
There he is. Good job by him.
Conveniently 7-11 left here in the third, and Hillsborough, boy, they need a game like this.
This is exactly what they needed, to come off that tough loss, and build on it.
How about we show you that pass that was caught by Santiago down the far sideline, which set up the touchdown score, 38 yards.
Santiago's lined up wide over there by himself by the end zone. He just simply does a straight fly right up the sideline. Good defense, corners there, but it was just a good pass, great catch over the shoulder. The ball placement on that was excellent. The only one who was going to get it was Santiago. If not, no one was catching that. Great pass, great catch. This is exactly what you want to see from Hillsborough here.
And it was Sherwin Apaya, I beg your pardon, who brought down Santiago on that touchdown-saving tackle. So, but Hillsborough, what a job they've done today. And I'll tell you, one young man really happy, Ryan Seaman. 3 touchdown passes today.
Great job by him. He is on fire this evening. Good for him. Getting
actually, I stand corrected 2 because there were 2 rushing scores.
Correct. Okay, 2 passes.
Still a very good game, nonetheless.
Exactly. Coach is calling a great game tonight. So let's see what we get here on this kickoff.
We'll give you the Hillsborough staff a little bit later. And here is a high kickoff. Jackson will take at about the 11-yard line. He'll get to the 20, try to get to the second level, and gets leveled at the 32. Still a nice return. And Sayreville will start from there.
Once again, good return, good kick. Great coverage by the special teams there. Hillsborough's defense has been lights out. So they kick it. They didn't do a directional kick this time. They kicked it directly. They're looking to play more defense, which is a great thing.
All right, so we'll spot the ball to 33. It is 1st and 10. And I don't know how much more running Sayreville's going to do, because if they score, they're going to have to score quick. They go 4 receivers. They triple the far side. Back to pass. They swing it. And the pass is caught good containment and maybe a 2-yard gain for Devin Crass.
Yeah, good pass. He might have gotten a yard only on that, but you know what? The defense was there, swarming defense. Now they run a hurry up.
All right, so now they have to go up tempo here. 2nd and 9. Here's a pass caught and getting to the sticks. Should be a first down.
If not at first, it's close to it. No.
Keshava Sadowski. And I'm not sure if I can confirm this, but we got Keshava Sadowski and we got Keisha Sadowski, and they're both seniors. They might be twins. I'm not 100% sure, but hey, we get to call both of their names here in this. He's a yard short, by the way, of the first down, so it is 3rd and about 1.5 yards, right outside the 43-yard line. Let's see what they do. Nunez is going to, I think they're going to
his own number, yeah.
Yeah, he called his own number, and he connected for a first down to 45.
Yep. Now you see some sort of offense coming out of Sayreville here. They're pushing, they're hurrying up a little bit, they're picking up the tempo. I think this is a little better for them, trying to keep the defense guessing right now. So, this may be something that they need to do for this next quarter or so, just to try to get on the board quickly.
Nose of the ball touches their own 45, so Sayreville 1st and 10, nearing the halfway point of 3rd quarter. And they're going to need to call some plays in a quick order here. They go spread, back to the left of Nunez.
2 by 2, yeah. He drops back to pass.
Let's see what he does. He's waiting. He's going to fire, and that's going to be well underthrown. Jackson Jankowicz for probably the easiest interception he would have in his high school career. That ball just died up there, and Jackson just came by and easily intercepted at 35.
Yeah. He had no chance at that. The receiver had no chance. The ball was way underthrown, but as we know, Sayreville is not a passing team, that they're forced to have to do something that they're not accustomed to, and they don't do well. I mean, he threw 1 or 2 good passes, but it's not their strength.
Let's not forget, the key was to stop Sean Jackson. They have.
They have stopped him. Yes, they have. If he's plus yards, I'm surprised. He may have like about 6 to 10 yards.
We don't know what the official stats are, but I'm sure, Hillsborough's done a very good job shutting him down.
They have done a very good job. The defensive line and linebackers have been playing excellent and in working on stopping him with the ball.
All right, so 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line. I'm sure some other people are going to get involved here as They're going to slip it out. And
Good
Stevie
run.
Jankovic down to the 47-yard line. Another 12 yards on the play. Here, keep Jackson in, get some more yards. I'm guessing he wants to get that 100-yard mark. He's had some nice runs in this game.
He has gotten quite a bit of yards, both receiving and passing. So, I mean, he may make it there, but it's still early in the game, and they're still keeping the ball moving, which is the important thing, right? We got another first down. The clock is still ticking. Hillsboro's taking their time. So, they're doing what they need to do.
And remember, once we get to a certain point, I believe it's 35 points, that's a running clock.
Oh, boy, and then it's trouble for Sayreville.
All right, so it is 1st and 10. And this handoff, again, Jankowicz crossing midfield, and he just keeps rolling to the 44-yard line. Another 9 yards.
Another 9 yards. I love the vision on this kid. He sees the field well when he's running the ball. I mean, you got the stretch play. He started to stretch it. He realizes, okay, that's close. Let me plant my foot and turn upfield. He sees it and then goes up. It looked like he was only going to maybe get 2 yards out of that. And when he plants and turns upfield, what happens? He winds up getting 9 altogether. Great job by him. I love his vision. He's doing great tonight.
I think everybody is tonight for Hillsborough, from the quarterback to the coaching staff to the line. Everybody.
Special teams, everybody. Yes, everyone's on page tonight doing a great job tonight.
Yeah, let's not forget about the special teams, too. I mean, they've done a heck of a job. All right, so 3 wide slot right here on 2nd and a yard. I wouldn't be surprised they run this again. But it's back to pass. Quick throw. Pass.
Good.
No, not quite there. That's all right. Incomplete. They went for Santiago and just a little bit low.
Right.
And it's 3rd and a yard, so you have to figure, one person that only got like 1 touch today has been Zion Grant. I would use him here on this 3rd and a yard.
Right. Well, you know what? That's true, because he's one of the bigger backs. He's tough. He always good for those quick yards. He's a strong back, but he's not in at the moment, so we're actually going empty. I don't know. Let's see. Maybe he's going to.
Here. No, it's under center. I beg your pardon. Now they go handle. That'll be a first down.
There it is.
Pushing across the 40 down to the 39, 38, and some more. He will not go down.
Great job by the offensive line. Great job. Good push. Jankowicz again with the carry.
Good Lord. He carried everybody in the kitchen sink there for another 10 yards.
Yeah, you're right about that. Once again, it's another first down. And what happens? The ball is moving. The clock is ticking. And, getting close to that 35 and possibly calling it a game here.
Well, there's still a ways to go. 3.5 left in the 3rd. Remember, one play can totally turn this thing around. They triple the right side. A little bit of a modified here for Seaman. Back behind him. Now they put Schwartz next to him here. Back to snap. They're going to swing it. Pass caught.
Oh,
that's
great.
Santiago. He'll get to the 30, maybe
Good catch,
the
good run.
29. They'll give him 5 just inside the 30.
Yeah, once again, good catch, good run. The blocking on the outside was excellent. The defenders were not able to get off their blocks to be able to come up and make a play. So it was good for 5 yards. It's almost like a running play. And once again, the most important thing is you got the clock running still. So for Hillsborough, it's great. For Sayreville, it's horrible at the moment.
Well, 2nd and 4. They're going to spot the 29-yard line. Hillsborough taking their time getting their packages in. And again, they'll go modified. They got Schwartz behind Seaman. It's a 3 wide slot left. Now the change. Back goes Seaman. Now delay handoff. And Schwartz will get to about the 27. Nicely done by the Sayreville defense. And Bryce Bouchard with the stop. He's and Grill, they both had very good games. This is a good interior line that Hillsborough is facing, but Hillsborough's been able to exploit the rest of the defense.
The Sayreville defensive line, their tackles are big. They're really big. They're strong. They're making plays, but the Hillsborough offensive line is just overpowering them at the moment.
Here's Schwartz again. And he's tripped up about a yard shy of a first down.
If he manages to keep his footing on that, it's possible that he gets into the end zone.
Bouchard again with a stop. Ends up being no gain, so it'll be 4th and 2, maybe 4th and a yard and a half, it looks like.
Right. So here's a big play. Sayreville needs to stop really bad here. Sayreville needs to stop. But once again, I'm looking at the clock, and it's still running. Hillsborough's not rushing. They're taking their time. They're milking it for all it's worth. Line change for Sayreville. They brought in their big defensive tackles. anticipating a run right up the middle. So let's see what they get.
RDI formation on 4th down. They pitch it out. Jankovic with the first down. He jumps to the 20, and it's good night. Clear the area and a hat trick. Welcome to the end zone. Justin Jankowicz with his 3rd touchdown of the game, his 2nd rushing score, and Hillsborough, shall we say, dominant.
Dominant is the word. Jankovic with his vision once again. You see the toss. You say he's stretching it. No, he stops. He plants and then goes back in. And he runs it in for a touchdown, breaks a tackle, and manages to get into the end zone.
And he's not over 100 yards after this. I don't know what'll be.
Yeah, close to it.
Well, how about Lucas trying for the extra point? 97. Okay. Zach Frund is going to try it.
All right.
Let's see what he does. Snap. Kick on its way. He got it.
All right. Good job.
So he gets on the scoreboard. So why don't we take a quick break? A minute 8 left in the 3rd. It's 35-0 Hillsborough. We'll come back in just a moment. Just want to take a moment and thank Bruce Wayne for the Hillsborough Touchdown Association, who was able to, have us here yet again for another fantastic night here at Hillsborough High School. And I'm sure for the Hillsborough faithful, some very happy results. I mean, a lot of people were scratching their heads after what was going on the first parts of the season, but here, Hillsborough's come out with a dominant performance with a 35-0 lead.
Yeah, they have. They come out really big, with everything that they've been doing, defensively wise, offensively wise. They haven't been stopped. Sayreville has not been able to have an answer for anything that Hillsborough is doing tonight. And you got this young man kicking off now. He just finished going for the extra point. He managed to make it, so.
Well, we've only seen one return from Sayreville. It's either all the kicks have been out of bounds or downed. And here is the kickoff.
Great kick.
And let's see if it goes in the end zone. It will for a touchback.
Okay.
Remember, once it crosses the plane of the goal line, it's an automatic touchback.
Right. So right now, looking at the 2 kickers, right? Number 18, he's a senior. Right? So they switched that last extra point, and they brought in the young man here.
Zach Frund.
Right. So I think, with the changing of the guard is coming soon, so they're trying to give him a little time in there.
Hey, you got to get some practice in an in-game situation.
That is correct. I mean.
So I think, get the parents to tune in because we're going to be seeing a lot of people who don't normally see the field. They're going to be playing the 4th quarter. All right, here's a handoff. And trying to get somewhere and not being able to do that. Back to the line of scrimmage. And that will be a Devin McCall for that one. So, with no gain, we're at 3-quarter time, and it's all Hillsborough tonight. Hillsborough 35, Sayreville nothing. We'll take a break, and we'll come back with the final quarter right after this.
When you want reliable work, trust family-owned A&B Landscaping to make your property look its best. With over 25 years of experience, our design team will help create an oasis in your backyard with landscaping, hardscaping, retaining walls, and more. Our commercial customers rely on us for landscaping and maintenance too. So no matter what type of property, we can handle it. We're the company you can trust, so give us a call today.
Right now, what I want.
Okay, we are back here for the final quarter as the Pride of Hillsborough Raider marching band, who, by the way, sensational halftime performance. And
it was.
I tell you what, and hopefully had some good sound with that, especially at the end. Hey, I was a freshman when True Colors came out by Cyndi Lauper, so what a way to end that one. All right, as we get back to game action, here's a handoff and a good run by Sam. That's Sam Tucker, the senior, who gets a turn. And he's brought down by Amato. But it's going to be a first down for Sayreville as they get to about the 30. And they had some great tunes. Bruno Mars was a tune in there. I heard Both Sides Now. Judy Collins was featured in that one. And I'm sure a couple others I didn't quite catch.
We also have a quarterback change for Sayreville, but we don't seem to have his number up here.
It's number 11.
I don't see a number 11 on the list, so you guys have to forgive us. But they did change quarterbacks.
It's okay.
17 on the carry. Good run.
It's Sam Tucker again. And he'll get to a couple, that will say 4, to about the 35. And we might as well mention Liam Rorty, who's a junior defensive back.
Oh, great job by the safety coming up and making the play, All
right, so 2nd and 5. They'll spot the 35-yard line. They got a receiver on the near side. Number 11, by the way, is coming in quarterback.
Another handoff inside.
Yes, they do. Crossing the 40. And a hard hit out of bounds about the 45-yard line. Devin McCall gets about another 10. Another first down for Sayreville, who's starting to put together a drive here. Remember, with the score the way it is a running clock by state rule.
Right, exactly. But, Sayreville at least is trying to come up with some positive to take out of this game. Not that they can do much from it, but, still, you want to be able to do stuff with the ball and get some, some positive yards and something to work on.
All right, here's a handoff, turning, crossing the 45, and down to midfield. That was McLeod Mania. He's a junior running back, and he was able to get 5 on the play.
Well, once again, this is a good run by Sayreville here. You know what I'm saying? They're able to get some yards. So, that's good. They're keeping the, trying to get here, possibly get a score out of this if they can.
By the way, Aiden Herrera, the junior, made the stop there. 7-yard pickup for Mania. It is 2nd and 3 as they're at the Hillsborough 49 now. And now a handoff, cutting inside and getting a first down to about the 44-yard line. That was Carson Martin. He's a junior running back. So now some of the players are getting themselves some time in and putting together a positive drive for Sayreville.
Yeah, good job by number 22.
Hey, listen, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Joey, but remember, these are kids. We have to always remember that in our broadcasts here.
Yes, that is correct.
So they're doing the best job they possibly can, regardless of the circumstance and what the score is. I mean, they're doing their best no matter what they're doing. Here's another handoff to Mania, and Mania falls down for a 2-yard loss.
Good tackle by number 13.
And that would be Mateo Del Toro.
Good job.
And the fan club that we are 2 rows behind.
Yes. Yeah, he's got fans down in front of us here, which is a great thing. Once again, Sayreville is doing a lot with the ball now. They're moving. They're positive, yardage and stuff like that. So it's a pretty good thing. You always want to see something come out of this, good for the other team.
Listen, you got students, school, family, community support. That's what and the coaches as well. That's what makes it successful. Here's a handoff down to about the 36-yard line. Probably going to be a first down. Again, Devin McCall, the senior, gets a call. And that's going to be close to a first down.
Yeah, Roy.
About a yard short. You got 11 on the play.
Good run. Good run. Once again, and it's now 3rd and 1, and, Sayreville's moving. They're switching up backs. They're keeping the backs really fresh, and, they're running a lot of misdirections here. So fooling this defense just a little bit more now.
And now a handoff, and
good job.
No, nothing
now.
there.
Yeah,
this time they went with Sam Tucker, and he only gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, number 85 on the tackle.
That would be Alex Thomas. He's getting some time on the defensive line, the senior.
Yeah, good job by him managing to stay. He's playing defensive tackle right now, so he held his own on that. Did a good job maintaining his rushing lane, not giving up any space and making play there.
All right, so 4th and about 2. Let's see what happens here. And they'll run it. And we'll see where they spot it. He's going to be close. I don't know if he got it. The way the officials are saying he only got back to the 35, Herrera and Del Toro make the stop, and Sayreville turns the ball over on downs.
Great job by the defense again. Del Toro comes in and makes a couple of really good plays, and one big stop there for the Hillsborough on that last play, tackling the running back for a short gain and no first down. And once again, here comes Hillsborough offensively, and let's see.
Looks like we have a quarterback change. That would be Devin Corona. Actually, no, he's in the game, but no. He's speaking to Kevin McCarty Jr., who is the head coach of the squad. While they're discussing, the assistants are Don Adams, Wayne Briggs, Kevin Carty Sr., Vince Coviello, Patrick DiNapoli, PJ Jankowicz, Rocco Mazzagatti, Brandon Weader, and Tim O'Sullivan. The principal is Jeff DeLello, and the superintendent, Mike Volpe. Athletic director is Michael Davis, and the team doctor, James Monica. Athletic trainers are Michael Schiffman and Amanda Miller. And the cheerleading coaches, good job by the cheerleaders, too, doing a heck of a job, as always. We got to see them before the game and cheering on the sidelines. Got to mention them as the handoff goes to the 40. That would be Parker with the carry. He had the fourth touchdown for Hillsborough. He gets 4 on the play. Samantha Shurik and Amanda Rebello, the cheerleading coaches, and, of course, the sensational halftime show you saw by the Pride of Hillsborough Raider Marching Band, directed by Jules Horan and Nick Clipperton.
Well, let's just say a great job by the whole staff at Hillsborough here. Congratulations, Dan. And our sound crew's doing an excellent job. And we do have a
one-man gang here just doing everything here. Here's a handoff, and there's Zion Grant. He'll get to about the 43-yard line. So, once again, quarterbacking is the junior, Devin Corona. Tackled, by the way, by Nato Okusa, a sophomore defensive back there. So everyone getting in on the parade here in the fourth quarter. 3rd and 3. They'll give it to Grant.
Oh, boy.
Oh, no, it's a keeper, and it didn't quite work out too well. It happens.
It happens. I mean, I don't know what happened there. Something happened with the ball. It just popped out. He got a lucky bounce that it bounced right back to him.
And that becomes an immediate broken play, and you just try and hang on for dear life. It happens. I mean, everyone practices around here, and when you get your turn, you try and make the most of it. But
that is correct.
Sometimes it's like a game situation that happens.
Yeah,
I mean, that's all it is.
Yeah, I mean, game time is one thing, practice is another. The speed's a little more, and there's a little more pressure in the game. So but that's good. They get used to it. They get the experience is what they need. So when they get back in the game again, they know what to look forward to.
Okay, so there'll be a punt. I think Nate Drab had wanted to keep plays of the game, having the ball downed at the 1. Here is his punt, a very low line drive. Will it be returnable?
Good punt.
Rolls to about the 26. And that is where Sayreville will line up. It's a clock taken down to about 3.5 minutes. Now it stops on change possession, then it runs. Once they spot it, then they start the clock again. It says 3:33 left, but what's the most important thing? What's the most impressive thing you've seen from Hillsborough today?
Defensively wise, they came out with a plan to stop this young man from running the ball, and they did just that. Sean Jackson was not able to get on track and do anything this evening to hurt the defense, and defense lights out tonight. How many? A couple of turnovers, 2 turnovers, I think it is.
Yeah, 2 interceptions.
2 interceptions. Great job by the secondary, and great pressure by the defensive line.
And when you shut down the running game, just like Hillsborough did today, I mean that evidently blossoms in your favor dramatically, as you can see by the score. Here's a handoff on first down to about the 27-yard line. You know what? The fact of the matter is, the most impressive thing for me for Hillsborough, obviously, it is not often Hillsborough gets on the wrong side of a one-sided game. And we've seen him for a few years. And, of course, especially under Kevin Carty, and especially the last few years, the way they've played, they've always played close games. This was one, I mean, obviously last year or 2 years ago, they got whacked by Phillipsburg. It's been a long time since they've had a game like that. But to come across a game against a winless team and to have probably one of their worst games in a couple of years, as we see a nice tackle over there. I got to say, Kevin Carney's done an amazing job rallying the troops, and everyone has played a tremendous game. Offense, defense, special teams. Seaman threw 2 touchdowns. Jankowicz ran for 2, got 1 receiving touchdown as well,
Yeah.
and everyone shared the ball. Everything's gone Hillsborough's way, and I think the game plan shutting down Jackson was an absolute success.
And it was a success, a big success. And, knowing that Sayreville was really much one-dimensional, if you shut that running game down, you pretty much got them. You just got to get, a couple of breaks and make some plays, and you'll be fine.
And now a handoff, and at least this defense is swarming right now.
Yeah. Yeah, Hillsborough has no letdown here. They are
Sam,
just attacking.
they want the goose egg to not hatch.
Yeah, they definitely want the goose egg to be able to get that. It's a big deal for the defense to come away with a shutout here. Week 4 for you, and going 2-2 going into next week. On a positive note. With a lot of work.
Now, keep in mind, next week, Hillsborough will be on the road at Phillipsburg. Of course, Phillipsburg remembers the game from last year. And I'm not sure exactly what happened there, but Hillsborough faces Phillipsburg in Phillipsburg next Friday night. Meanwhile, North Brunswick will be the opponent of Sayreville as they try to get back on track for next week. Now, remember, they lost a close game in the opener, were shut out against Linden, and came up with a great performance against Edison, winning 40-21. But today, it was all Hillsborough. So, Joey, real quick, your final thoughts.
Last thoughts, once again, Hillsborough had a job. They had one job. They did it. They were able to be successful in stopping that run and played an awesome defense. And offensively, great call by the offensive coach, and being able to get all this running play in the offensive line, I think, was amazing this evening. So,
all right, the punt goes out of bounds to the 28, and Joey, thank you so much as always. As he's going to go get the referee's microphones, we're about to wrap things up.
Thank you for
the
tuning
clock
in.
will run to zeros, and folks, Hillsborough with a giant exclamation point. They have shut things down and preserved the shutout as they defeat the Sayreville Bombers 35-0 here at Hillsborough High School. A reminder, in 2 weeks' time, the HSG Network will be back for its next home game against, if I can find it, against Westfield. That will be on October 4th at 7 p.m. Make sure you subscribe to HSG Network on YouTube. We have nearly 3,000 subscribers. Let's get there with your help. And you'll get the notification when we're about to go on the air. So that'll be it. From David Noonan Field, an impressive night for the Raiders. Your final score, the Hillsborough Raiders 35 and the Sayreville Bombers 0. For Joey Pagan, Howard Gaber, I'm Tom Wilkins. Hope you've enjoyed the action here of Hillsborough Raider football on HSG Network, and we'll see you in 2 weeks' time against Westfield. Have yourself a good night, everybody.